Hello again, Japanese car fans. So we have a new competitor maybe coming into the mix here. These two models though I want to talk about, if you want to search into my history for the Toyota 1600 GT, these two are made by a brand called Dydo, which could have been made by Kyosho. In fact, let's take a look here. No, it just says Dydo on the bottom. What about this one? Okay, so no Kyosho branding on these, although some newer ones they do say Kyosho on them. So we're gonna put those aside for now because the competitor is here, and this one is made by Konami. So let's see which one is better. This seems to be some new old. No, it's not new old stock. It's been taped together, so possibly part of someone's collection. Okay. So the base says 1967, so that would make this the third generation of the Toyota Corona, and it's being a 1600 GT, it would be a 1.6 liter engine, and it's going to be front engined, rear wheel drive. Alright, and then this 1600 GT had an interesting cylinder head made by Yamaha. The Yamaha supplied a DOHC cylinder head here. So it's actually from the 2000 GT, which is Japan's first supercar. So it shares some a little lineage with that one. And it made 110 horsepower. So it's kind of like a junior version of the 2000 GT, although not nearly as cool looking. And then around 2,200 of these cars were made in real life. Okay, so actually I forgot, I gotta tilt the camera down. So as you saw the photo comparison, the wheels do look quite similar. The photos might not show it, well the rear one does, but they do have these ribs going around them. Looks kind of like a pie of some sort. And then there should be some black in these tiny rectangles, but I can understand Konami not doing that. This one does have suspension, and this one is from 2005. It is press fit together, so repairs might be an issue, without drilling it apart at least, or wheel swaps. And then what's going on there? I think the tire, hopefully I can fix that later. Okay, so I see separate chrome plastic bumpers, so that's nice. Door panel lines aren't so wide. There's some sort of black printing here. I think there's a vent on the real car. It's actually silver and black, so I can see that as a vent now. Unfortunately, this paint rash is a red car, so it's gonna have paint rash, especially one that's this old. And then it looks like the silver paint on the body edge is fading away, or no, it just wasn't printed well. See, I would guess that the silver is supposed to be hitting the door handle, sticking out more. And the key one is looking a little low also, so I think they missed the mark on that one. There's some sort of silver here on a protruding bump as well, some sort of badge on the real car. Some silver around the windows and on the plastic here. Alright, orange blinker. Whoa. Alright, maybe when it rests it'll be better. A little blue in the center of the grille, and then we have 4 plastic headlights, chromed plastic grille, but it looks like some of the chrome is chipped off or vaporized away. Black paint here for these little extra bumpers, and then some sort of depth there. The top, some weird paint issue there. That's really weird. Okay. Some raised but not painted wiper blades. Silver window trim. Whoa, not pretty to look at. Okay. More silver. And then the back here, what does that say? Toyota? Okay. And then I can't read that out. You'd think it's supposed to say 1600, but I only see like three numbers, and then GT5 or GTS. Alright. Taillights look pretty good. They're actually plastic. They're not paint, well, they're plastic with paint on them. Okay. And then, yeah, the bumper again, separate with black on it, little key, and then the blanked off exhaust tips. And then silver paint going around this whole back end, but it's not like everywhere. So, okay, well, not the best example, but being a 16-year-old model, I guess I've kind of gotten used to it. This seems to happen with a lot of the old models. You know, they just get paint rash, in particular red. Red is my worst color to collect. And I should probably avoid buying these, but you know, this is a car I didn't need to have since I already have two other ones. So it wasn't that expensive, you know, when I got it off eBay. So it's time for comparisons. We're not going to compare it to the race vehicle. We're just going to compare it to the regular road Dydo here. So let's look here. So the stance is quite different. You know, the Dydo is a much higher riding vehicle. I'm not sure which looks more accurate though. It actually does look it's riding pretty high in the real photos. Like the tire gap on this red car is actually too low. On the real photo, this fender gap looks like it's off-roading. So this is actually more accurate. You can rewind obviously to the beginning of the video to check for yourself. And also Dydo has these crazy cool psychedelic headlights. They're like crystals or opals or something. So I really like that about the brand. And then this blue is it's much larger. Although this is probably more accurate because it would be blue within a chrome piece. I do think this is actually more accurate. On the real car, there's a silver surround, but the headlights don't have much of it. It's kind of there. It's 50-50. There is a chrome surround around the headlights, but it's so small that it's almost not visible. Whereas this is so big, it kind of detracts from the actual plastic lights. Alright, so hood. This is much better. This is all filled in. It's not very good. But the Dydo has no silver paint around the window for the trim. Right, Konami has that, and Konami also has wiper blades. This does not. The rear end, Dydo has painted taillights. Plastic wins the day all the time. And also, Dydo doesn't have any branding, but this one does, right? So the back end definitely goes to Konami. Side shot here. This does have the silver paint. Yeah, and I do like the fact that this has an open window, so you can actually see the interior a little better. What about the wheels? Let's compare those. Oh, this is interesting. The wheelbases are totally different. Or are they? No, I might have just been holding them. No, I do kind of feel like the Dydo is shorter. Well, sorry, I'm too lazy to pull out the calipers now. Alright, maybe I'll leave a comment. One thing we didn't look at is the interior of this thing. It's just black plastic, so I wasn't too motivated, but yeah, standard black plastic interior, molded detail, but without a flashlight, you can't see much. But that's also the case here, right? Even with no windows, it's still so dark in there you can't see anything, right? And then this one, the chrome is vaporizing off the wheel. So, it's kind of 50-50. There's a little good and bad of each one, and so I'm not sure which one is better. I think you're going to have to leave it to you guys to decide. Alright, let's pull them up on the spin thing. So naturally this is a whole raced out version. It doesn't even have headlights, and it's got a weird brush bull guard on the front of it, so that's kind of an oddity. Okay, well, that's a whole different thing. So I'm not really sure which one I would go with, to be honest with you. I suppose it comes down to the overall length and or wheelbase, which I'll have to measure and mark as a comment here. So, but if I had to suspect, I'm gonna guess the Konami is more accurate, except for the wheel gap. You see, look at the photo back there. That's a giant gap for some reason. Like it looks like it's going. It looks like it's a truck, not even an off-road rally car. It looks like a truck. So I think the Dydo got that right. The Konami is sitting too low, at least in the front. Alright, well, that's just some nitpicking, I guess. In the realm of COVID, it doesn't really matter. Right, so, anyways, well, I hope you at least enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys the next time around.